yesterday, a two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. They're framed and fixed and rigged. You know they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in, and cross its way under your skin. Just got foul from the things they spout, and it won't make you shout. Give me that good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit. That good news, because I'm tired of the same old shit.
Coming today. Welcome in, everybody.
Hey,
2025 to the grounds, the most unique show that 216 Creator Studios has. There's Uncle Pete right underneath me here. You see this over
is
here?
he hiding? No, he's hiding over there.
There he is, right there. Throw that in your URL. Join us for the very first show of the grounds on 2025 here. As we talk, hey, what's on your plate in 2025? Of course, shout out to our good friends over at Natural Therapy Wellness Center. John and his team do a great job. If you need something on your plate, go get a massage from these guys. They'll take care of your stress. They'll help you be blessed.
Little self-care in 2025.
Yeah, check them out at www.mchenrymassage.com. And our good friends over at JH Flowers and Events. These guys, Events and Flowers, excuse me.
I'm chewing on a banana. He's looking at it.
It's their competitor.
I got him off.
Yeah, it's their competitor. Check them out. If you've got a man cave, a she shed, if you've got a need to decorate your house, if you need, any rub for your meat,
I was just going to tell him to keep it clean.
Yeah, they've got that.
What,
a lot of people.
2025, we got to be alive.
A lot of people stick their meat in smokers now, and they've got good rubs over there as well. So they got more than just flowers. That's why it's JH Events and Flowers.
Right.
If you've got an event, they'll help you out, which is great. So check them out at jheventsandflowers.com. Good stuff.
Well, good morning, guys.
Yeah, good
Been a
morning.
while. Haven't seen you.
Yeah.
Everyone
Good morning.
survived. The big day. Going from December to January. I see that everyone made it, right? It's such a big push, right? Like,
Yeah.
New Year's Eve's coming up. What are you doing? Well, I'm probably going to be in bed around 9:30. You know what I mean? Maybe cook a little something. I
Watch
mean,
a little TV.
yeah, I love it. I mean, as a kid, obviously, I love New Year's. You know what I mean? And I still do to a certain point, but it's just putting so much emphasis on what you're doing right that day, and then how you're going to change your life. For 2025,
right.
And it's like. It used to be something for me that was just like, all right, I'm going to dive in. I'm going to be the best this year. Now it's like, why is there so much emphasis put on just this day to change your life, right? Or make something major?
No.
I mean, who started that? Do we know?
I saw this YouTube skit where this guy was like 2025. It's going to be my fitness year. And then he went into the closet and he pulled out a healthy snack and he unscrewed it, and as he lifted it to his mouth, it was like an Oreo.
I was just gonna say the thing of brownies hidden in the freaking Weight Watchers bag.
He was gonna go to the gym. He walked out of the door and he was in his bedroom in bed. He said, "Wait a minute," I don't know. I know that there's goals everybody has. I want to say that the more I'm hearing about the New Year's resolution is more black and white now. It's like you do or don't do. It's not about resolution. You either do it or you don't. So I don't know. I think that's what we're talking about today. Huh?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, everyone puts a big emphasis on this day, right? Why January 1st, I get a calendar year, but why just this time of year to come up with this big grandiose plan for the next year, right? I mean, granted, we all have to have some time that we think about it and want to put a plan into action. And I get it, right? So this is a day that kind of puts everybody on call, so to speak. Like, what do?
You make
right?
it feel like.
Well, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow again, hopefully. you know what I mean? But I mean, I do like it in the sense that some people do chit chat about it and start thinking about, hey, maybe 2024 wasn't awesome or whatever, and I need to step up my game a little bit for next year, right? But it's one of those things that I like to see it a little bit more conversation and push all year long instead of, hey, what are you doing on January 1st? Then after that, it's gone, because what do they say by week 3 or whatever? Most people's, resolutions are shot to hell, right?
You're right.
Right. So why not something that push more? Because there's such an emphasis put on right now, and then they fail because it's like, well, they got to jump on the bandwagon. How about just start looking at things maybe a little bit differently? Because for me, I mean, I tried for years, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. This is going to happen. And it seemed like it just faded away a lot quicker, other than just being a day-to-day thing of, gradually getting, like we talk about, getting better every day, a little bit every day, trying to push yourself a little bit more.
And people overload themselves, I think, right off the bat. They put so much on their plate. For me, I want to say this year is more to finalize the goals that I had last year, to get through them, to complete them. So this year I've gotten a lot accomplished last year. But fun. I think this year there's still a few out there that I just need to finalize, and then the rest of it is going to focus on me. I know that there's been a hard year a little bit on myself, dedicating to others and dedicating to the studio and dedicating to work and everything else. But and you and I had this conversation,
right.
So this year is a little bit more focused towards the cappuccino and finalizing the goals that I already had. So it's not so overwhelming.
As it
not
should
so
be.
Much a latte.
Not so much a latte.
Well, it's turning into a latte if I don't. You know what I mean?
You don't get it under control.
Milk it out.
If he doesn't get it under control, he's going to be a little soft, foamy guy.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just things to work on just all the time, right? And that's the emphasis that I feel like I put with a lot of people, right? Is this not just a one-day thing? It is nice. It's fun to kind of talk about it and come up with these plans and ideas and get together. Obviously, getting together is always fun, but like, what do they call it? Amateur night,
right?
I mean, that's the night you don't want to go out. But for me, it's trying to kind of almost look at every day as like New Year's Day, right? Another day. It's another, I made it, so to speak, right? I mean, that sounds weird. I guess I'm getting older. I made it, right? Getting up and actually appreciating what I have, and trying to, I don't want to say trying, just bettering myself in any way, shape, or form, regardless if it's to myself, to my family, to my friends, to the community, to the world, and I mean, I'm just trying to do that every day. So to me, it's a present every day. That's why they call it present. So I'm trying to use more of Kent's attitude, because if you guys have ever noticed, this guy is always very up and happy, at least on the outside, right? But he's very positive about things and looks at things.
But he's screaming at
me. But inside, but you know what I mean? It's a daily, and I'm going to use the word grind, right? It's a daily thing to remember to do. And I think January 1 was put in to kind of kick everybody in the teeth. Yeah, to kick everyone in the teeth and say, remember, today's the day you really have to try harder instead of every day.
I'm going to see how many times I can fart on air this year.
Was awesome. That number 2?
I think it's great.
In case you didn't hear it.
Yeah, that's right.
In case you didn't hear it, you'll see the wall on fire right over here.
No, you'll see that microphone flutter a little.
I just figured, why not? Let's see how many times I can burp and fart on air this year.
Air guitar. I like that.
It's all that protein.
That's what you got to do. 2025, it was just, we just hung out at home. My daughter had a friend over and we played dominoes and what do you meme? And that, that's what we did. I mean, Krejci, shout out to the Krejcis. They had a little sickness run through their house.
Oh no!
So they didn't
I did the following week.
What up, Krejci?
Yeah,
they didn't come up, and we did meet them. For our annual trip to IKEA. We go every January 1
to IKEA.
Yeah, we've been doing it for almost 30 years.
Really?
Yeah. Since since it opened here. So whenever that was, 99, 2000, whatever.
That's an interesting.
It was just fun. We just go and we walk around, then we grab lunch and go home.
That's cool. That's cool. Just good quality, fun time to each other.
Yeah,
going to IKEA.
Nothing says New Year than looking at badly put together furniture.
Hey, that's this is
it's a
fun,
good tradition though.
You see some of the new stuff they come out, and you're like, oh, that's a cool.
I mean, our kitchen in our old house in Wonder Lake was all IKEA. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, everybody's like, "Well, this is beautiful." I'm like, yeah, it's badass.
They've got decent product there. I mean, it's a cool little place to hang out.
Yeah, to me, I always laugh and giggle at people who think the new year is a big new fresh start and blah 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 blah. It's another year for most people because you're not gonna make a change. You're not going to. Let me say this: you're not going to make a substantial life change.
No.
You just won't. And listen, if I'm upsetting anybody and bursting your bubble for 2025, if you had a shitty year before, you're probably going to have a shitty year again. Listen, because as humans, we're creatures of comfort. We're creatures of
habit.
Right.
That's why I say it's every day instead of one day a year. Right.
And that's why I say is, I've learned, and I've taken a lot of time to learn, how to be mindful, how to be, right here, in the present. My big, as I look at my life, I always get hung up on the how, right? If somebody's talking to me about, hey, because I've been in the building trades and things like that, I'm like, as you're talking about it, you're talking about, doing this at the studio, and I'm trying to figure out how as you're talking about it. So I'm never present. So then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as Drew's like, we're going to build this band room, and band room looks kick ass right now, right? I mean, it's if you have a band or a local band, or you need recording space or someplace, come check it out at 216 Creator Studios because it's cool, right? Yeah. But as he sees the picture, and I'm trying to put it together, right? So I can never really enjoy his vision because I go right away to the how, and we'll have conversations like, wait a minute, you and I've worked on we built the lid,
right?
Alice always sees the picture. I always how does that get done, right?
Right.
And so I'm trying to learn how to get away from the how and enjoy the moment. Go, let me see that picture. Even when I built houses back when I was in my early 20s, the blueprints, I understood the blueprints, but how does this going to go together? Right. That's why that's why I don't like jigsaw puzzles.
Duct tape and glue.
Yeah. Right. I don't like jigsaw puzzles because you can see the picture.
Good morning, Shayna.
Right. You can see the picture. But how does that go together? And there's too many pieces and weirdly things, and I don't have the patience for it. And my ADHD goes, well, this is stupid. I put in, here's a corner. I'm done. Give me the pep out.
I follow that. I follow that for sure.
If once the edges are done, fuck it. It's a dumb thing to do, right?
I don't know about dumb, but I get what you're saying.
That's right. Because
my mom and dad love it.
Happy New Year, Shayna. So what I it's on my plate is more mindfulness, more just sitting in the soup that I'm in instead of trying to figure out how, right? Over at Aegis Solutions, I do the same thing. I'm looking at the layout of the building and how, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not for me to necessarily understand how, because that's not my job.
Right. And you do your job and you do your job well. And that's the differences.
So for me, I think a lot of people don't understand being mindful, being in the present, right? They are on New Year's Eve or whatever. They go, oh, okay.
Raising my hand, teacher.
Yeah.
That's me. And that's a really good one. That is a practice that every day is important. You don't want to just do that one time a day because that's so huge to being able to, as you say, being present and mindful, because that's an issue I struggle with because I'm the same way. And I'm from here all the way to there. Well, this is still being thought about, right? And I'm already over here figuring out the how, the why, and done.
Right. I mean,
so I miss out on the importance or the relaxation part of it.
Drew's a great visionary, right? You are too, in essence, because you guys you get the idea and you see the end, right?
Right.
But I'm like, all right, 2x4s. We gotta get some sheetrock. You know what
but there's a place for that.
Right.
There's a place for that.
And so there's what bothers me with my life is that I can't enjoy your vision until it's done. You know what I mean? There'll be times I'm like, fucking Drew's out of his mind with this goddamn, and we can look at it and go, Jesus, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, right. Initially, you're just like, what the hell?
But I'm the guy in there putting things up, doing things. Nick and I are battling away, getting it done.
Right.
And then when it comes together, I step back. I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, I told you, dumbass. Alice does the same thing. So
Yeah.
many times at the projects we do around the house, I'm like, that's not going to work. It's going to look stupid. All right.
Well, to
I'm
be
done arguing
open,
about it.
I'm
put
gonna do
up,
it.
and then I'm like,
I'm gonna
Well,
apologize. Sorry, babe.
we make a good team because we're open about everything. If I have an idea, Kent will be like, that's a great idea, but how about this? And I'll be like, ooh, that's even a better idea. So we ping pong to
Yeah.
create the vision together. It's not that you're just in that place because you're super creative. Listen, the big day of New Year's, everybody wants to set goals, and then everybody wants to try to tackle those goals. And within a week or two,
Yeah,
it
right,
falls off.
right.
And then, like you said, it's just going to be another
Yeah.
horrible year. So here's one of the main things. Jim Rohn, huge follower of Jim Rohn.
Love
You
him.
know who he is.
one of the
He-
granddaddies of
Absolutely. He's right
personal
up there with
development.
Zig Ziglar and the rest of the greats. He says you have to have a list of goals. Doesn't matter what day it is. You have a list of goals, right? And then, you might be able to prioritize those goals for a New Year's and say,
Yeah.
these are the ones that I'm going to tackle.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing about having goals is follow through.
Yep.
I mean, one of my superpowers is follow through.
Yeah.
If I say I'm going to do something, I fucking do it.
Yeah.
And if it's too much to tackle, I'm still going to do it. It just might not be in the time frame that I want it to be done. So then I have to reprioritize those goals. So if you're out there and you want to accomplish something for a year, make sure you're not giving yourself some gigantic goals. Give yourself one big goal, make them a stretch goal. That way you still look like the hero to yourself. In the end, you're not just disappointed you didn't get it done in time. If you want in sales, if you're going for, $1 million in sales, go for $3 million. If you settle at $1 million, you're already reaching for that $3 million. You're going to hit that $1 million.
Listen,
So,
if
follow through.
one of your New Year resolutions is to stop smoking or chewing tobacco or anything like that, because this is the grounds, check out Grind's coffee pouches. Grind's coffee pouches, absolutely no nicotine, just coffee in a little Skull Bandit pouch. I absolutely love them. I use them all the time. This one happens to be double mocha.
Ooh.
Double mocha, and it's got 50 milligrams of caffeine in it. It's
And
good.
if Grinds wants to send us that check, you can send it to.
That's right. That's right. Info at 216.
Well, what you're saying is totally true as far as having goals. You have to have goals, right? It's important to have something written down to move yourself, to move that needle forward, right? But realistic, right, goals, things that are attainable. A lot of people will put goals in front of themselves, me included, I have, right? Like, not even measurable or attainable, but as far as the steps to get there, it's doesn't make sense, right? Like I put too much not stress, but just too much pressure, right, to make that happen when it's not really a realistic, right, in the time frame. And that's something for me that I've had to kind of came back a little bit going, because I get these big, you listen to Darren Hardy, he had the big audacious, goals,
Big,
right?
hairy,
Audacious goals, right? Which you need to have, but you also need to make sure that you have small ones to get to that point, right? Because people, right, a lot of people don't have, including me for years, I only looked at the end game, right? I did not put my steps to get to that process. The process, right? The processes if you don't have processes and procedures in place to do things, it's gonna suck. You're not right. You're not going to hit these things.
Well, here at the studio, we have our goals list and we have a dream board.
Yeah.
And what we do is we build these goals in order to obtain the dreams on the board. So those are the real big ones, right? Those are the ones that we would like to see into the future, into the near future if we can, but we have to have goals to reach those. Right. And then everybody's got their life goals, which is business, their personal. So if you're overwhelming yourself, you're just creating misery upon yourself. So pick one, pick two, follow through with it. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow, but through the year, just make sure you stay on top of it.
Have realistic time frames.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things, right. I mean, and that's
and it's okay if you don't hit that timeline.
Right. Right.
Just know that you're almost there.
Yeah.
That's all.
When you're at least that you're making steps forward.
100%.
You know what I mean? When you do, for me, I self-defeated myself for a number of years because those goals were so big.
I think we all have.
Right. But nobody talks about it, right? It's great.
No,
kicking ass, taking names. You know what I mean? For me, I'm over here going, shit, why did I aim so high? Because then I realized I wasn't getting there. right? And so then just all my energy would just kind of die, just like we were talking about these great goals in January 1. But if you don't have something to back it up and keep moving, it'll just slowly, that big picture will die, because if you're not hitting those little dinky milestones to get to the big one, in my opinion and in my life, I'm done, because I start getting, I'm failing because I'm not here. And it should be a year out type of thing. And at 3 months, I'm going, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can't do that.
If you hit those little milestones, don't forget to celebrate that too. That's still a win.
It is.
When you take those little wins, that adds up and keeps that drive to push towards a big win.
I mean, gratitude is a big thing, right? I mean, why you feel bad, I don't know. I'm grateful I got 75 classic cars. I'm grateful that you got so many things, 8 businesses that are awesome.
I do have things, but I don't judge my stuff on things. I judge on what I'm just doing at the time. The things are a byproduct of what I've done.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead, finish up.
What I'm saying is, when you don't feel like you've accomplished something, that's where that gratitude and a gratitude journal comes in.
Take a look.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And you don't have to say, I mean, you got that Buick, the convertible, right? Is it Buick?
The Le Mans,
Pontiac? Yeah, Pontiac, right? Gorgeous car,
yeah,
right?
Thank you.
And when you're feeling bad or you haven't accomplished anything, and you've got these beautiful classic cars that you poured your heart and soul into, you got to be like, man, I'm grateful that
I am. I go out and I drive them.
I mean?
Yeah.
I
do.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's. I mean, there are things, yes, but there are things of passion that you put heart and soul into. It's not like you're just out there going, at Meekum going, 500,000 for that.
Right. I built them. Right. Yeah, I built them. Right. And so for me, those are my trophies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why when people we talk about stuff, these are my wins. These are the trophies for me. Hey, I did that then. I did this then. And for me, that's
and those cars tell a story, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And not just your cars. I mean, everything that you do, your businesses, right? They tell a story. And I think what we have to be better as a human, as a species, is understanding the stories.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
People look at you as you're driving that Pontiac and go, must be nice. We've had shows about that.
Yeah.
Right. Steph and Joe have done shows about that. And no, look,
though he rebuilds Saturns for a living, I mean, that's
but it's like every
good
time,
morning, Don.
Every time, buddy. Every time you look at that, that's to me that's a story. It's not a car, right?
Yeah,
and that's what you need to be grateful for, is understanding. When you look at that Pontiac or you look at the Volkswagen thing, that's a story.
And you get to tell your story when people are like, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah, and just being grateful the fact, grateful the fact that I was actually able to create that story,
right?
And those are, and that's for me. That's where the mindfulness really plays into, and the gratitude, because when I am having a shitty day, right, or whatever, I really pull that. I try to pull that, and I hear, believe it or not, I hear your voice, right, when I'm having some of the not feeling, no, in a good way, it's Scott. Come out and play. You know what I mean? But I look at it and go, shit, like, why are you in this mood? Like, you shouldn't be that way. But I try not to look at it like from a thing standpoint. I try to look at it from an accomplishment and a positive, because listen, a lot of people look at it from just things.
Listen, if you want to change and make a change during this year, Eric, throw a link to your book up there. Grab Eric's book. Eric wrote a great book, and grab that. And I'm happy that he's friends of the show here. But great book. Throw your link up there, because we'd love to help you out with that. And that book can help you put into concept and different focus. What we're talking about today too. So
a little bit better perspective of it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely, Eric. Throw that up there.
Yeah, whatever.
There you go.
Too, Eric.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Big time right there.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah. Truly.
Boy, everybody we know these days is writing books. Yeah. You wrote a book?
Hey, look at Pops.
Hey, good morning, Pops.
We all need purpose in life. Striving for goals encourages continuous learning and development of new skills. Yeah, thanks. I
five.
Hey, do it in Korean money, because I want to be on the Squid Games. Feel like I want something.
I
Squid Games. That's awesome.
Yep. But I mean, Bob's not wrong there.
No,
And then it's, striving for the goals, right, encourages us to continue learning, because what is it? Every day you kind of are learning. If you're not, I think for me, when I'm not learning, I get bored in a way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily learning something new, but maybe just learning how to do something different. Looking at things from a different perspective, which, for me helps considerably. That's
I was down in Peoria over the weekend. We had a basketball tournament, and we lost all 3 games. But we played top nationally ranked teams, right? We played really good teams, and we did well, right? So even though we lost, it was a great losing experience, right? And we got a 2.5 hour bus ride back, almost 3 hours bus ride back. And on the bus ride, I'm watching YouTubes on coaches. I'm looking at my team, and I'm like, hey, how do I get these ladies better? So the entire 3 hours, I'm studying, right? I'm looking at things. I'm reading articles from.
You mean you weren't watching reruns of the grounds?
Yeah.
I thought you were driving the bus.
No. We had a charter.
That's what I'm thinking to myself. Like, I could just see him like this.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
Was it a Tesla bus?
Yeah, was it a Tesla?
We had a charter. We had a charter bus, which is nice, right? And my assistant coach Kevin, he kind of looks at me, and some of the ladies look at me. I'm like, listen, I'm a nut, right? I'm happy with what we did, but I'm unhappy that we lost. How do we get over that hump, right? How do we get to be as good as the good, the best? A couple of teams like, oh my gosh, they're talking with me. They're like, hey, we'd like next year. I'm like, absolutely. They look at me like, what? Nobody in your area wants to play. I said, no, you're the best. I want to play you.
How are you going to get better? You can't get better playing against someone that's substandard.
It does us no good to beat somebody 115 to 30, right?
Right. You need to be challenged.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You need to be challenged, and that's huge. And I love the fact that you can pull that out.
So, I'm studying, learning, looking, right? With this business, I'm studying, looking, learning. I'm watching. I'm watching how other people run businesses, not businesses like this. What makes them successful, right? Where are the personalities that are involved in this great station, and how do we blend them together? How do we keep pushing forward, to affect the bottom line? Whether the bottom line is wins, whether the bottom line is revenue, whether the bottom line is friendship. You know what I mean? If you're not, I think in today's society with AI and everything coming in, if you're not constantly trying to push yourself to learn something, to grow in some way,
you'll be behind the marker.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard, final push or whatever, in your life. And then at the same time,
don't fight it, learn it.
At the same time, I go, man, am I blessed? Because I've got a friend, we all know him. He's had show on here, who his 23-year-old daughter's in hospice because of ovarian cancer.
Yeah,
right. And you look at that, and you go, she's 23.
Yeah,
right. And she's in hospice. As a dad,
I couldn't even.
No,
that just right. I just died inside.
Right. So
it just literally just freaked me out.
Yeah. So so you take a look at things and you go,
it's
my
perspective.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, she was like, hey, the day you don't learn something's the day you die. Right.
And my mother said that all the time. You never stop learning.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it doesn't have to be something big. It could be literally just something silly, simple. That's the thing when people say they got to learn something new every day. Well, doesn't mean that you have to learn rocket science. You know what I mean? Just I learned how to put my shoes on differently, type of thing. You know what I mean? Something that changes something that's not in your norm.
Yeah. So Eric's like, it's your race versus you. Yeah, I like that. It's golf. Your life is really golf. You're not playing against anybody. You're playing against yourself.
Right.
And every day is a stroke or a shot, whatever.
Yeah.
Don says, but coach,
it's a stroke.
Coach would probably say more fun to learn and to win. No, not necessarily. We played the number 16 team in the nation. We lost 79 to 93, so 14 points.
That ain't bad.
We only had 8 turnovers, right? My team was elated at how they played. There was more to learn from there that they realized and said, hey, we can stay with these ladies, right? Yeah. Where if we beat them, they might have said, of course we beat them,
I was going to say when you
You know?
when you when
Yeah,
you
so-
when you lose, you're looking at why, right? So you can better yourself up and above. When you win, it's like we won, just like you said, right? Like, okay, we won. That we don't need to be better, right?
Yeah.
And people do that in business too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Oh, we're winning.
They
We don't
cap
need it. We don't,
themselves.
right. Well, we
Yeah.
don't need to. We don't need to innovate or to
Yeah.
change. I mean, like look at Kodak or Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
Perfect examples of businesses that I don't need it. I'm winning. I don't need to look
Xerox.
right. Exactly. I don't need to look at
Right.
what I did to
Right.
win. I won. That's all that mattered. Well, what are they at now? They're
I-
gone.
I miss Blockbuster.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But
Mm.
they're gone. You know what I mean? Because they did not look at how they were playing, at least based on that.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't see their flaws. They didn't see
Yeah.
because they were winning. They were celebrating their highs and looking at, I'm going to assume their bottom line. I don't know the
Yeah.
people in the company, but that's the thing, learning from the little things up and above. So your girls, that was probably awesome for you guys.
Mhm.
You drove 3 hours, got your asses not kicked, but you got beat.
Oh no, we did. The first game we lost by like 35.
Oh, okay. Well, you just said
Second-
14.
second-
I'm like,
second-
that ain't bad.
Second game we lost by 14. The third game we lost by 25.
Okay,
We got
so-
our asses handed
So
to
you
us.
guys,
Don't
you
kid
guys got,
yourself.
you guys got a little bit of schooling, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But hopefully they take that schooling in, right?
Oh,
and
we
realize
were
how
in a
they
big funk. We were in a big funk, and we broke out of that funk. I mean, because we average close to 80 points a game, and like for the last 4 games, we were finding it hard to reach 60. So we were in a bit of a funk. So we broke out of the funk. So that's why it was okay. Good losses, right?
right.
And that's the other thing is I think you got to take a look at the realness of your resolution or your goal, right? So I'm first year college head coach. I've got 7 freshmen on a team of 11, and I'm like, we're going to win 20 games. We're 7-7.
Are you being? What were you being realistic?
Well, yeah, so that's it, and I take a look and I said, I put a lot of faith in myself. I put a lot of faith in a young team, and we're learning lessons, right? So that means that in a 30 game, we can only lose 3 games in the next 16. Now, right? We're 7-7. Last year, as an assistant coach, the team went 8-22. Right. So I'm like, we're 1 win away of tying last year, 2 from beating last year. But realizing like, okay, maybe not 20, but if I'm 500 or if I'm one game over 500, you have a winning season, right? It's not a losing record. In your first year, I mean, that's good.
That's
right?
great because you're
But-
picking up. I mean, this is not new
Right,
to
but
you,
so
but
many
it's new
people-
to you.
But so many people, when they look at resolutions or goals, it's not big, hairy, audacious, but it's unrealistic. But they don't think it's unrealistic.
Well, they don't
Right?
realize that it's
Like, hey,
unrealistic, right?
Hey, I'm going to go from 300 pounds down to 150 this year without surgery, without cutting off a bunch of skin, right? And then after the first 6 weeks, you're like, well, I'm going to eat 7 Portillo chocolate cakes this week.
Right. Well, yeah, when the goals get too big and they're not attainable, then you
Yeah.
fail, and it actually it
Yeah.
goes backwards. That's where they have to be attainable.
Nobody likes a quitter.
Yeah, what's Don say? What's Don say there? Okay, read that. You got your glasses on?
I think many don't think enough about learning from when you win. You should focus on the why then as much as when you lose. Absolutely. Yeah.
No, I mean Kobe Bryant's. Learn from your wins and losses. You do have to learn from wins. A lot of people don't. They're like, all right, it's success, right? And move on
Right.
next.
Right.
But yeah, I break down film. In life too. I rerun the week so many times during the weekend or whatever, whenever my downtime is. Oh my God, that call could have been different. I should have done that. I chose to do this instead.
Sure.
So I try to learn all the time. I don't have a bachelor's degree. I don't have a master's degree. I don't have a doctorate degree, right? But what I love to do is I love to continuously learn. I have to push myself. Let's figure this out. How do we, hey, how do you ride a motorcycle? I don't remember, a clutch in your left hand. Or wait, what?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I mean, you learn, and
Right.
and if you teach yourself, good things happen.
Right.
And I agree, but you do have to win from wins as well.
I mean,
Eric says resolutions drive me nuts. We focus on all the things we should stop doing. Focus on the things you do want and you'll find you have the time for the things you don't have. What I have find the time. Oh, I can't.
You'll find you have less time for the things you don't want.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Where's the fancy glasses?
I'm having trouble with my contacts this morning.
Oh, you got contact.
New resolution. Be able to read better.
Yeah. There we go. And what'd you say? I found what?
I found that most times I don't set my goals big enough. I sell myself short.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Potentially, I mean, some people do it that way. They don't
Mhm.
fail, right?
Yeah.
They make them so easily achievable, but then it's also kind of like, okay, I did it.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? There's no reward.
if your goal in your business is to have $1 million in revenue, let's say,
Right.
and you shoot that as your goal, you got to be happy with 600 because you're going to fall short.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Right.
depending.
So if you want
right.
$1 million, shoot for $1.5 million, $1.6 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Fall
to.
short of
You know,
it.
I was going to say they always said, shoot for the moon. If you don't, at least you'll
Go
be
the
among the
stretch
stars.
goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stretch goal. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Exactly. I mean, some people make it too easy for themselves, then they don't push themselves.
I woke up in piss excellence.
That's right. That's right, Ricky Bobby.
Yep,
I wake
yep.
I wake up and I piss excellence.
Yeah, what do you want to do with
I
your
don't know
hands?
what to do with my hands.
And that's the thing. I mean, there's a fine line between not enough and too much. And it's each individual person has to understand and figure out what works best for them and what motivates them. Certain things motivate people other than, different things motivate different people. Some people it's money, some people it's things, some people it's actual progress in, making the studio. You know what I mean? There's different ways of measuring what your success is. And a lot of people don't necessarily, or at least I feel like a lot of people don't actually lay that out there. Like what is your success? Like how do you know it? How are you going to measure it? Like what is that vision? Like, because I have people all the time saying, oh, you're so successful. And I'm like, well, it depends on what you define successful. I have business. Yes, I have business. Am I making money? Yes, I'm making money. But is that what is deemed success to me? Right. As a kid, that's all success was making money. Right. Because that's just who I was raised, was making money. But that's not it. So defining those and being able to achieve them and making it realistic is huge.
Yeah.
Because you'll shoot yourself and you're done before you even start if you're not having that stuff. What's the moniker when they say goals?
Well,
when they're SMART goals, right?
See, but what I would tell you is just say thank you, and I'm enjoying my success.
No, right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you started bad like, well, am I really? I mean, what's success? Hey, you know what? You're right. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Right.
And I'm enjoying it. I've worked hard, but yeah,
Right.
thank
You're
you
your
so
own
much.
worst enemy. Just like
Right. And that's
Right,
and
we
that's
are,
right.
100%.
And that's why I love when I'm hanging out and talking with you guys, because it's stuff that actually that I do think about, because I am successful.
Hell yeah.
Right. In many
Enjoy
different avenues of my life, but because of the way I was brought up, right, and what how success was measured, it's always nope, you're not there. You're not there. You're never there. You got to keep going. And it's like, no, I'm not. And being the mindfulness, playing that mindfulness game and being grateful and really looking at the things that we produce or the things that we've done or who we are really is the success, is
That's it.
right.
Well, thank you so much.
Right.
what I
Right.
mean?
I mean, you don't see a trailer pulled behind a hearse.
Yeah.
If you're going to look at it from that
unless you're
standpoint,
cat.
unless you're got my basketball coach.
There's going to be a pool noodle on a chair somewhere. I have to say that, I'm so proud of my wife. My wife is in a position of a business that she has never done before, and it's a little on the high level side. And she had learned to adjust and talk to people, manage people, learn the hard way on how to manage people underneath her. And it's still it's affecting her, I think, to the point of mental breakdown. But what she's starting to realize is everything that she went through was the free education and got paid to do it. Because when you're in a corporate atmosphere like that, it's never going to say her name as the owner of that business. But now she's got these new skills that she could put in her tool belt and be able to move forward. Now, all the drama that you get in your life, and I told myself this year, I'm not accepting anybody's drama.
Yep.
You got a problem. You got a problem with me. I don't, you know what? It's none of my business of what you think of me.
Amen.
It just isn't.
Period.
I am not going to dwell on that. There's less time in front of me than there is behind me, and I am not going to let you molest my time. So
like
therefore,
Yeah.
I think in moving forward, and she's taking on that same role. with the drama that she's got, with people underneath her, to family members, to whatever the case may be, she is becoming probably one of the strongest women I've ever met. Which scares me too, because then that works against me. But I'm so proud of her. My best friend, 30 years in, still my best friend.
Congrats.
And
Pay her well.
so I think sure her goals, she didn't even know what her goals were.
Right. A lot of times.
And then after the year, I think she's realizing, I guess those were goals because I've accomplished that.
Yeah, I mean that's why I wish Kelsey was here today. And Kelsey, thinking of you, sister, but moms don't get days off, and a lot of times moms,
it's a full-time job. Nobody realizes
and moms, not a lot of moms have the, their goal is, I got to make sure that my kids fit. I got to make sure that there's a house over my head and all my kids are taken care of, right? And they always put themselves second. So
have a good day at work, Eric.
What's Bob say there?
Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. We all should have short and long-term goals that encourages growth.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing I was talking about, the little ones to get to the big one.
Yep.
Whatever it may be. If
micro goals.
Right. Yeah. If you've got just that one big, huge goal at the end, trying to get there and breaking it down to small steps, you don't do that, your chances of hitting it are pretty slim. And I mean, I'm a perfect example. For years I didn't, because all I saw was this big picture. I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know how to make the right turn and the left turn to get to that destination.
Yeah.
Right. I saw the destination in my head because I am visionary. I see it, but I didn't know how to get to it. I didn't know how to put that puzzle in that piece, put that piece in that puzzle to get there. I just knew that I wanted to see what it looked like on the box.
Yeah.
And so I did everything I possibly could to scramble those pieces to make it look like the box.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I finally got there.
Right.
But I could have got there a lot quicker had I'd done it right. Like, there's certain processes of doing puzzles.
Right.
You do the outside wall and build yourself in.
There's no shortcut.
Right. Exactly.
You
Well,
can
that's
take a picture of the puzzle box,
right,
enlarge it, print it, and then glue it over the pieces and call it a win. Right.
Amen.
But
I did it.
You never really accomplished the puzzle.
Yeah.
But you got to see the end result by a certain way of cheating to get to that.
Yeah. Well, hey Eric, have a blessed day. I hope you slay 2025 as hard as
go
you
get it
2024, brother. Again, you want a great book. If you're doing grab his book. There's his link right there out on Amazon.
I'm gonna check his
book.
book
What's the book called?
Yeah, it's a great book.
What's it called?
I forget right now.
Eric, if you're still there, throw it up there. Otherwise, we'll
Eric
grab it.
Would love a signed copy of that book actually for the studio. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll pay for it.
Yeah,
I'm not looking for a handout.
My goal for today is get the TV hung over the hot tub.
Well, maybe a little bit to the side in case it falls out. But I am a tester.
Is that a euphemism? I don't know.
I'm a tester. If you want me to come test out the tub to make sure the view is
well,
fine.
I mean, listen, between the three of us, we got the Gummy and Dildo King. And then
Henry.
We got the Innovator can help hang the picture as well. I like to just carry a clipboard and supervise, but we'll as a team we can make that happen together.
We'll figure that
just go ahead and send us an address to
I got the relaxation part of that taken care of.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, hey, and don't forget, if you're looking to for a nice little boost, if you're looking to quit smoking and or nicotine pouches, the grinds are 100.
What are you doing?
New company you started
100 coffee pouches.
We're waiting to start a new company we don't know about.
Is there a check coming in on
this
that?
is a double mocha from Grinds, and it's nice. It's got a smooth chocolate taste, not a harsh
Dude, you need to be in
taste.
Commercials.
And this
James
is
Earl Jones.
50 milligrams of caffeine.
I'm glad we're re-promoting the Grinds.
I know the grounds.
Hey,
the grinds on the grounds.
It's a new year and you need a break, right? Don't forget to buy your wife some flowers. Don't forget to go get that massage. We should probably be rerunning that.
One of my resolutions is to be an online promoter or whatever the fuck.
Dude, you got the voice. You did James Earl Jones.
It's just this. So
Come by the Grinds.
I'm just gonna start throwing stuff out there, and then we'll send this clip out to the Grinds, and we'll say, listen, we've got a show called The Grounds. We'd love to have Grinds be that sponsor, and we would here at 216 Creator Studios.
Yes, please. We will. I would call them. You got a good deal there going.
Grinds on the ground.
Grinds on the grounds. Come check it out.
What's the call-in number? Here's a
call-in number.
No call-in number, but if you want to see Uncle Pete, you can put that URL right into your
should we get a live hotline? Call us in there.
We actually will have one. This
Welcome
year.
to the
Yeah,
grounds.
yeah.
How can I help you?
Right.
You know,
We'll be able to put them on air.
but
That'd be
yeah,
cool.
we'd love you to do that. Shana says, do you feel less than what? I
Do
can't
you
read it.
feel less than
I'm farther than you.
absence of the degree society put focus on? Some see a degree as a success itself. I'm glad you said that because you made that comment. She's talking about college degrees.
Oh,
You said
yeah.
you don't have them.
Mm-mm.
You don't need them. Some of the smartest, most successful people in the world don't necessarily have degrees. Degrees just show that you can actually learn, right? That you have the patience to go in and to learn something and to pay someone to do that.
Well, you showed up for 4 years,
Right. Exactly. You showed up for 4 years, right? You
Or
paid
whatever.
you paid your dues, so to speak, right?
Here's
Life is the
trophy.
best teacher,
Yeah.
and friends. Life and friends are the best teachers.
Yeah.
Do you need glasses, Ken? Which one are you trying to read? Eric's?
No offense, but my wife is in the hot tub is better than strange bald dudes from Chicago and hot tub. Well,
Hey.
it says you.
Yeah, you don't know until you try it.
I was just
Love
saying,
that.
you really hung out with
Yeah.
us. We really like the
Right.
party.
Yeah. So going back to Shayna,
Was it the dildo comment? Did that turn you off there?
here's
Gotta
Yeah.
try anything 3 times.
going back to the degree is knowledge is something no one can take away from you,
The
right?
only thing that nobody can take from you.
Mm,
Nobody can take what you learned. They can take your life. They can take your family. They can take your money. They can take in. They can't take what's out of your brain.
Well,
What's
they
in
can
your brain.
try.
Right, but they can't physically take. They really cannot take it away from you. What you've learned is yours. Whether you use it or lose it is up to you. What you learn every day, those girls can't tell you you're an idiot or change your mind to
right,
forget what they're
that's
thinking.
what I said.
Right.
That's exactly
Right. No, I'm just
what
saying.
I
That's
just
right.
said.
That's what I'm saying. That's
But
the
it's
one
not,
thing
it's
in the
not
world.
the only thing. But it
Okay.
is something, right? Anyway, but yeah, and that's what I tell my kids, and that's what I tell the ladies is I'm like, I'm still learning, right? I've probably got I've taken enough classes, college level classes to have a master's. It's just not in one focus, right? And growing up in the 80s, it was, hey, go to school, go to get a degree, work at a place for 30 years and retire on a nice pension, right? That was the American dream. You know what I mean? What, what's it say? What's it say? I'm not pointing
I'm not
fingers,
pointing
but
fingers.
someone looked like a condom with a winter cap on. Well, it's a reservoir tip. It's a reservoir tip.
Welcome to the club.
That's it. No, everybody laughs.
I actually look like I'm gonna go rob somebody.
Yeah,
That's
you really
it.
do. You really
I'll go with that one.
God, you know, hands up.
You know what?
That's not my hand.
Best resolution. Hey Tim, good morning. Says, hey guys.
Tim,
Some
Best
people
resolution not to make resolutions you can't keep. Yeah.
some people aren't meant to go to college. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I enjoyed college. I had a good time, but I firmly believe I would be where I'm at or close to it without going to college because the school of hard knocks is what I've learned from.
Here's what I tell people. I'm like, I want, my son-in-law is going to be a surgeon. I want him to be well educated.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
There's certain things that you have to go to school for. Lawyers, doctors.
Really want a lawyer to be pretty well educated, right? My mechanic, guys changing my oil. Do you need a bachelor's degree for that? Right. So, I mean, it's something that no one can ever take away from you. There's still a lot of pressure. I don't think society looks at it so much anymore that way, that you need to have a degree, right?
No.
A lot of, and the story that's being told in the public schools now is, hey, maybe the trades is okay. You can make a couple $100,000 a year being a plumber, being an HVAC guy, right? I mean,
there was a time where
there was a time it was like,
where everybody was
there's
like,
a
my
time
kid's
where-
going to be a CEO, but they didn't realize.
They looked down
Trades
upon the
is
blue
big money.
collar. Well, they looked at people were looking down upon blue collar people for
Right.
whatever reason. That's that changed
silly.
society for a while,
That's
right? I
silly.
mean,
It did.
No.
It did. You're not wrong.
So to me, what I tell my kids is I'm like, if you're not going into like my daughter's a therapist, right? She's a psychologist. I think you should
Yeah,
be
definitely-
you need to
definitely
be
want her to be
educated for that,
educated.
right?
Yeah.
You don't want to sit and go, hell, my therapist are 3 bald guys sitting around a piano on Friday morning. These guys,
they don't charge a lot.
right? This is what the ground said to do.
Why are you in jail? Well, I listen to these three guys in the morning.
That's right.
And they told me how to live life.
And hey, listen, big shout out to Tim Paul. I see he's watching the show today. Partner
Tim.
here at the Crystal Lake location for 216 Creative Studios. Also the host of Lifting Spirits and Around the Piano. You guys should check out some of this content.
2 majors and a minor now.
2 majors and a minor. If you go to the old YouTube on the Google box there, go to 216 Creator Studios. Hit that live tab. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check out some of the other content, some of the other shows. We have a really good year coming up. And stay tuned for a good friend of ours, Drew Deraney, popping on, going to be on our radio side, as well as we already have a couple seasons that we're going to be putting out there for. What was it called?
From caving to crushing
it. That's right. What a great guy. You would really get along
Caving
with
to crushing.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Drew, and every time I get on camera with Drew, it's Drew times 2. Because he is such a great human being, helping his whole goal was helping men get through certain trying times. And he's been through some trying times himself.
He's got a good story.
He's got a great story. So check us out. Don't just settle on the grounds. There's a lot of stuff out there you guys could be checking out.
Put the notifications on, so every time we go live, you'll
get
and
just because Tim's watching right now, and hey, listen, if you guys are looking for a piano or want 2 or 3 to stack on top of each other inside your living room,
they got a huge selection.
You check out Piano Trends, pianotrends.com. They have everything from any instrument that you have.
Things that play great music.
Go for it. Dude, he's jazzing it up.
How many times did you fart on screen?
That's hot. That's trumpet. Check about pianotrends.com.
Can you believe I've never taken a lesson?
I was going to say that's wait. I thought that was 3 years of lessons. He's accomplished a lot.
Tell you what,
his goal was to be able to touch the keys. He did it.
You sounded very jazzy. It was very jazzy.
I play the radio.
I play the radio.
That was called the Jones. It was a jazz sequence.
That's right. I can get the bass and rattle out.
If we all put some instruments together, we would sound like 2 cats fighting in a pillowcase. But I'm pretty sure.
But if you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Still music.
Still music.
I call it noise. Tim calls it music. I was like, I kind of like the way he puts it.
That's right. It's much better than
I call it over because they're not playing anymore. So I'm good.
I love it when he talks about instruments or people that are talented. He's like, I don't know. I watch Aldrin pick up a guitar and just he's super talented. I love hate Aldrin.
I'm in awe of those people.
Yeah.
I mean,
how come it doesn't sound like that when I do it?
Right.
Well, it looks so easy.
Listen,
at first, right? And then you try to grab it. It's like, no.
I want to throw this out there too. We do have our ASCAP license, so if I stole that from anybody,
right? I know we're safe.
I'm pretty sure sending somebody a check.
Well, I'll get the Facebook thing saying a portion of your video is silenced.
Now, if you would like that sound,
that's right,
on your YouTube channel, feel free to send us. We'll go ahead and send you an invoice for it.
Send you a little YouTube MP3 on it.
If you get some of Ken's music, you buy one, you get one at the same price.
We'll give you his entire collection for free.
Grinds, it could be the new jingle.
I'm tired of the same old shit.
We should do a show and just come up with jingles off the whim. That sounds like a great show. That'll be on a ground.
Jingle jazz.
A jingle episode. I'll get Tim in here to play the piano while we have to come up with.
You
draw the card, right?
Oh yeah, like Cards for Humanity. Yeah. Cards for Jingles.
That's right. You just draw the card. It'll say this business, and then you have to.
I like jingle cards on the ground.
That's right,
dude. We got to drink before that. If we were to do that, we'd have to do an evening grounds because I just don't see I'm not a day drinker anymore.
Oh my god. Well, I stopped drinking years ago.
It's a great resolution for you,
right? Just what? I'll tell you what. Just bring gummies. We'll be fine.
Yeah, no, that'd be bad too. That could not be.
Absolutely. I think I'm looking forward to 2025, right? And one of the reasons I'm looking forward to 2025 is social media, because everybody who is celebrating and happy the last 4 years now are miserable. Putting crazy stuff out, and everybody who was miserable the last 4 years now is happy. I go, it's so fun to see how stupid people are. I enjoy stupidity. I love and marvel at
entertainment.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's I absolutely love it.
I don't know if I'd say I love it, but I mean, for me, it's just like it blows my mind. It's like it's such drastic change. It's like, just roll with it, live your life, do your thing, and they get, I mean, for me, it's actually, for me, it's sad. I'm paying attention to some of these people that are so focused on all the people that were so unhappy and all this. But it's like, I don't care. Like, why are you paying attention to that? Why do you care? What in your life is not right that you pay attention to it, right? Because to me, it's just shitty noise, right? And distracts me from what I'm doing. Oh. I do get a kick out of it, though, when someone will say something. It's like, what did you expect? You know what I mean? It's like,
I love Americans because we're so narrow focused, and we think the world is America.
We're right.
Gary Wong, I miss you, buddy. You catch this, come back sometime. Bob says a college degree does indeed not guarantee success, especially in today's society. It does provide a leg up for many jobs or positions. We need more blue collar workers. I've hired hundreds and hundreds of people over my life, right? Well into the hundreds. You guys probably have to. And I've never gone, well, I see you have a master's in physiology.
Why do you want to
I think you'd be a great teller.
Right? I was going to say, why do you want to sell ice cream cones?
Right. I never looked at anybody's degree. Oh, I got a degree in business administration. What's that mean?
I got a degree in shoelace tying 101. So listen,
I got a degree in life.
Yeah.
So my ass kicked.
Here's one of the things I want to throw out there, and everybody, they misconstrue what college really is about. So you go to college, you go get these degrees, but you're experiencing the college life. You're experiencing the interaction with people, the good, the bad, the ugly, because that is the next stepping stone for when you go into a business or you get involved in a business. Of how you handled that in college is the carryover for you to learn. Otherwise, you become one of these guys where you need a back rub and a hot chocolate because you got yelled at by the CEO. Yeah. These are things that's all part of that experience, man. Yeah, you're going to go there. You're going to learn. You're going to learn the things that you want to be part of. You're going to learn how to party. You're going to learn how to live. What you did wrong, what you did right. Yep. The people that you put yourself around, and networking is so huge. And I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you're in a room of 5 successful people, there'll be a 6th. If you're around 5 rich people, there'll be a 6th. If you're around 5 idiots, there's going to be a circus. If you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And, at the end of the day, these are those moments where you're growing up and you're trying to find who you are as well as what your network should be. And so when you get out of there, you can continue that role and do nothing but improve it as time goes on. So that's also a college education. Is it expensive to do so? Yes, it is. But that's just the way
college
it is.
College is basically real life with a little bit of protective buffer.
Now listen, I'm a little, South Side Chicago Italian kid. I got common sense, street knowledge more than I do book knowledge. But that was my education, and I learned a lot the hard way.
Street knowledge has a lot more clout than people really realize.
Well, having knowledge and just knowing the who, when you learn how the who is going to be, then the how is easy because they already know the how, and you learn the how from the who. Yeah. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
But Cindy Lou.
Cindy Lou who?
No, she's like 35 now or something. So
yeah. I don't know. She was hooked on drugs.
She's actually a lead singer in a rock band. Interesting. So true, Don. Very happy New Year.
The girl that sings.
Don said something. Oh, sadly for many, they go to college to get dumber. Seen many examples of that. If you ask someone what makes a boss or a fellow worker great, they speak in terms of behaviors, how they act and treat others, not where they went to school. It's so true.
Yeah. I love it when people, you get introduced some, hey, my name's Tom. I went to Harvard. It's like, oh, fuck, this is going to be great.
I mean,
certain personalities in certain colleges and introductions. I mean, I don't introduce myself as, hey, I'm Scott. I went to Columbia. I'm Scott Giles. I'm an entrepreneur, right? I did go to college. It helped form me.
Sure.
And, my biggest education is out in the real world.
It's just like your resume. Right. So
mine doesn't look very good.
It's through time with the business that I've had. I have literally recruited over 4,000 people.
Yeah.
And I have learned that I do not go by resumes. because you're going to put anything and everything of all your positive facts on that resume, and most of them are lies, and then your friends are going to back up those lies when you call them. So if you find the person that you want to work with you, not for you, with you, because then you can set the precedent of being part of a team. If they have loyalty and dedication, everything else is a teachable moment. And so you should be recruiting on that loyalty and dedication, and where they've been and who they have interacted with. If you find that, you're a lucky soul. Not everybody can find that right away. But if you are that person, you should always stick to your guns. As Don mentioned, as a boss, bosses are monkeys with razor blades. Leaders are the ones that rule the world. So if you have a boss and you're in a business and you're miserable, it's time to make a change. Because bosses just dictate and they do not lead. And then you're capped. Now you're stuck. And then you feel like you have to be there because of the amount of money you bring into your house and your living standard and everything else. And you just soak in that misery. So,
hey, Don's like, like you went to Harvard. And Shannon goes, yeah, I went to Harvard. It has Tractor Supply, but still. Also has milk days. Listen, we're right on the back end of this. In all sincerity, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the grounds. And again, thanks to Grinds. That is coffee pouches. This is a double mocha, 50 milligram, smooth chocolate taste, not overpowering. If you're looking to kick a habit, try Grinds.
I think Kent's trying to kick a habit. He's got the grinds.
Don't kick a habit. Nuns did nothing wrong.
Nobody likes quitters. Nobody likes a quitter, dude. What the hell is wrong with you?
That's it.
Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in for this week for sure. We always love you guys coming in, your comments, just coming in, telling me what I'm doing wrong, because I love that about the whole thing. I'm just figuring it out day by day.
We get in trouble by listeners.
We get in trouble by listeners. But hey, I certainly appreciate every one of you guys tuning in with us every day. Yeah. Like every day, every week, just go out there, be the change you want to be in the world. That's my resolution every day, man. One day, one person, one small difference. I love you all. Thank you so much.
There can only be one.
There can only be one.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. See you next Friday.
The year 2000 is as close as 2050.
Don't remember.